I missed it because they couldn't beat Scotland and North Macedonia.
It's set up for the world.
To Mike's point, Cape Verde, right? They got the player off of LinkedIn. They went on to LinkedIn and they found a striker for their roster.
Right here on the Buford Sports Network, we're going to call it the CONCACAF Sports Network.
No, it's just great. It's passion, baby.
I read an article just the other day in ESPN that could have it blew my mind.
Oh, did it?
Now, let's talk, and we're changing pace here. We're talking about the 2026 World Cup.
Wow, that is
change of pace for the Buford Sports. Yes, we cover international soccer. Do we cover any other soccer? No! But we cover the International League, especially CONCACAF. CONCACAF home, right here. Anyways.
His favorite.
So, in 2010, there was 8 groups.
Yeah.
Now, the World Cup has expanded. We're all the way up now to 12 groups going through Group L, okay?
Yeah.
The question is, who is the group of death? Now, the ESPN article would lead you to believe because of that expansion, there is no longer group of death. However, because there's now also playoffs that we won't know until March, who's actually in these groups, I'm going to tell you right now, I think there still is group of death, and the discussion online centers around 2 different groups. Group L is the favorite amongst a lot of critics, okay? And we're going to say England, Croatia, Ghana, and Panama as a potential group of death. The other one that's leading most of the discussion is Group I, which is France, Senegal, Norway, and then a playoff soon to be figured out, but the highest ranking person or team, I should say, that comes out of that group is Bolivia. Mm-hmm. Are you taking any of those 2 as a group of death candidate? Paul?
See, I like the first option just because England and Croatia, as a general rule, are probably favored to be 1-2. But
Croatia's
and Ghana with their past success against like the U.S. But
so
I don't know if I believe in Panama that much.
2006 group of death.
But it is cool that they're all the way out to Group L. It seems like
a
fitting letter.
We'll get to that another time, but the changes to the World Cup are, I think, all for the benefit. It's all better. Now, I think they could even take this farther. Yes, I think it's so much better to include more teams. But, Mike, do you buy any of those 2 groups as a group of death?
Yeah, I mean, I think you could throw the first of the 2 as a group of death. I mean, it certainly, with 3 of those 4, I don't know about Panama, but certainly those 3 are pretty,
Did the U.S. lose to Panama?
Yeah, they lose to everyone. I don't know, man. I still kind of disagree with you on 2 fronts. I would say I disagree about the expansion of the tournament. I think it was at times perfect. Like France 98, Germany 06. These are perfect tournaments in my opinion. I don't know that I agree. Like it just seems like a watered down product to put that many folks into the World Cup. The other thing,
the argument against that, though,
okay,
the argument in support of expanding it is because group of death games and matches, or I should say brackets, in the group stage led to really good teams being left out of the actual tournament bracket. Does that make sense? So you'd lose teams like Italy, or you'd lose teams like Argentina sometimes in the group stage, and if you expand it, you can kind of water down that competition to ensure the best teams.
There used to be a term called getting grouped.
Yes.
When you miss the group, and I would say that since my group of death nomination is that England-Croatia, and I'm kind of not believing in Ghana-Panama, that in the past there used to be 3 teams where if you said any 2 of the 3, I would completely be on board with you. But and since that's our nomination, I don't really think there is a group of death. Necessarily, it is more favorable to the playoff bracket, so you are more likely to make the quarters. But to the second group, which letter was that? You had L and what?
L and I.
So
those aren't mine. I have different tastes.
I have a question for you.
Yeah.
A team that needs to make the World Cup has to win a tournament of their own. Is it somewhat of a bottleneck of a little bit of momentum? Right, qualifiers, but they're having their own unique one in Bulgaria. Do we believe in a country like that on a miracle run?
Do believe you?
Right,
they're ranked
because
56.
As we saw with Morocco in the last World Cup, there is going to be someone that shakes it up and be like, oh, we should have seen this as a group of death to begin with. It's possible. But I think we're going to see a lot more better matchups outside of the group play. So, and whether you're a purist and you're saying it's watered down, I'm not sure. I think more of it will be drawn towards the playoff side of things rather than the actual group play.
So, to kind of let's level set a little bit. The group of death name comes out of the 1982 World Cup, and let me tell you the 3 teams that were in that group that made it the group of death. Brazil, Argentina, and Italy.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like, you don't have any of those named off so
Right,
far.
right.
But
That was
so
wild,
here's like 2002 through 2010 group of death types of like
Yep.
Group stages. 2022 considered like unanimously the group of death was Spain, Germany, Japan, and Costa Rica. Not a fun group to be in.
No.
18 Croatia, Argentina, Nigeria, Iceland. I think that's on par with today. What about Uruguay, Costa Rica, England, and Italy in 2014,
Yeah.
or in 2010,
That's
Brazil,
brutal.
Portugal, Ivory Coast, and New Zealand?
Yeah, but out of those groups of death, I only heard one team even get to the final. That was Croatia in 18. So
Well,
were they
what about
really the
Spain?
groups of death?
Yeah, that's fair.
I mean, here's where I'll push back on a couple of things. Like, when Italy missed the 2018 and 2022 World Cups, they
How did they
missed
do
it
that?
because they couldn't beat Scotland and North Macedonia in qualifiers. So, like, are we really
Dude, and
gonna
Italy
say-
again, it has to be in the
Yeah,
playoffs.
But you
yeah.
can win the
Playoffs.
Euros, though. That's what's weird.
I know, but-
talk about the most consistent team maybe of all time. Or I mean, how can you win the Euros and lose to
Buffon's
those?
not
It was very, yeah.
Buffon.
That's the thing. Are we really going to put these teams that are missing the World Cup on the same plane as like Del Piero, Totti, Cannavaro, Buffon? Like, Italy in years past was a different powerhouse than they've been in recent years.
I mean, that's fair. That's fair.
So, here, one more thing I'll pose to you guys. Then here's one of my problems, and this has nothing to do necessarily with the expansion of it from a quality of play standpoint. But I was having this conversation last night with someone who was saying, "Oh, I'd love to go to the World Cup. It's in the U.S. and North America. You have to win a lottery to even get the tickets, and imagine how expensive that's going to be. They're not convinced they're going to be able to go." In my mind, I'm thinking what made the World Cup great for years and years in the past was you would have people from all over the world coming to the World Cup from these nations and stuff like that. It's really a
yeah, that's pre-internet,
yeah,
pre-streaming.
Well, but I think what it is though is that the cost to go is astronomical too. You know what I mean?
I think it's relative.
I think I feel like it's gone up astronomically.
I mean, you're probably right about that, but
Yeah.
also like the level of access just to be able to see a game depends on the location, and also really depends on the technology. I mean, I could tell you I would pay $1,000, but I would much rather just watch it from my house.
But that's
Just gonna say, like-
how many people from some of these countries are going to be able to afford the flight and like the $2,000
fair.
ticket? And so that's my thing is like I really think deep down this expansion of the tournament is about one thing, and it's money. I mean,
you know
it
what
just
we need
has
to
to
do?
do with revenue. That's
We need
it.
to stop building islands elsewhere. We need to build islands somewhere in like the Caribbean, and we need to do like islands dedicated just to the World Cup.
This
You know
has
what I'm talking
Hunger Games
about?
appeal.
Yeah, no, it's just set up just for this, neutral location.
Right,
It's set up
and
for the
To
world.
Mike's point, Cape Verde, right? They got the player off of LinkedIn. They went on to LinkedIn and they found a
No.
striker for their roster.
No.
And so if they make the gauntlet run, do you think like a lot of people from Cape Verde, or this story that is like, I mean, where else do you find this?
This is the story behind Trump's long-term
You could-
plan for the gold carding program. He wants to buy players to the next World Cup, right?
Well,
No? Okay, all right. Well,
I mean,
hold on.
all I'll say, like I said, it all comes down to money, and FIFA expanded this tournament so they can make more money. That's
mean,
exactly what
okay.
it is. Yeah.
But all right, so here's the groups that they aren't talking about that I think are way more of a group of depth potential. I'm going to start with Group G: Belgium, Egypt, Iran, and New Zealand. Okay, Iran, New Zealand, but Egypt, come on, no?
See,
All right.
like your spoiler alert, that is actually the game I would want to go to in group play, just because
Yeah.
how often I don't believe in Egypt to advance, and a big Mo Salah,
Yeah. How long?
fanboy. Like, so to play them against Iran, who I mean, I don't know if they'll be driving the prices up. Hopefully, I'll be able to find a cheap game.
There you go.
That's
What about-
the group,
all right,
but
Group F.
don't post that part. Cut that.
Now here's the one that I'm saying is the actual sleeper. This is the one, if you're gonna mark your calendars for like a group to actually watch, it's the Dutch, Japan, Tunisia, and then a playoff, and most likely it's gonna be either Sweden or Poland. Now that is a group of death.
That would be interesting.
And
Who
no
do you
one's
have to,
talking
who do you
about
have to advance out of that?
it. Out of that one,
Yep.
I would say probably Netherlands and Japan, or Netherlands and whoever wins that playoffs.
Playoffs.
Be
so-
interesting. Yeah.
We'll have a lot more on the
I agree
World
with you
Cup.
there.
I love international soccer. Everything CONCACAF is here. And let me tell you, when it comes down to the playoffs, You want coverage on your CONCACAF teams and all the red cards that are being distributed, because that's all CONCACAF play is. Right here on the Buford Sports Network. We're going to call it the
saying it's
CONCACAF
dirty.
Sports Network.
No, it's just great. It's passion, baby.
CONCACAF